Music creators are awesome. We're good at a lot of things, including procrastinating and sometimes allocating our time to things that aren't exactly the biggest priority, especially when we want to get songs created, recorded, and released. So, in this video, we're exploring 17 more ways that you and I are wasting our time in the home studio. Hello. My name is Pete Johns. This is the Studio Live Today podcast. Every week we gather together and we talk about something music related. And given that we are about to launch into our big Song in a Month challenge called Songtember, I thought, hey, what better time than now to re-explore even more ways that we're wasting our time. Let's start with number one. Tinkering with plugin presets. Yes, you can spend minutes, hours, and days sometimes just tweaking and tinkering. You're not sound designing, you're hiding from the writing process. You're trying to distract yourself, or at least that's what's happening, from the actual task at hand, which is creating and recording and releasing musics. Presets, they're starting points. They're not rabbit holes. You don't need to go, oh, what if I just give this 1 dB down? No, what about 1 dB up? Look, experimentation is cool, but at some point you have to draw a line in the sand and say, this is about what I want and this is going to be good enough. Is close enough good enough? Sometimes it really is. And in the end result, that one plugin on that one track on that one piece of audio is probably not going to make or break your track. So save your favorite and move on, especially in the writing process. Write first, tweak later. Now, I'm not saying fix it in the mix. I'm saying make sure that you're not spending all the time that you should be finishing your song on just that one piece of that one guitar tone. Number two, obsessing over file organization. So color coding your folders won't finish your chorus. Yeah, file structure doesn't equal progress. I've done this. You've probably done this. You know, when you're just feeling that I'm not feeling like I'm actually getting done what I need to be getting done. Well, what if I just go and do some file maintenance and some organization and move some files around and set up some templates? Done is better than perfectly labeled. Now, I know the flip side of this is that all your songs are called My Song 27, 28, 29, 41, 112. That's probably not great either. But you know what? We're in 2025. You can search for things. Like I used to have this amazing folder structure, and then I realized that most of the things I'm working on are in my recent folder, or I can just search by the name. I can go imagination and I can find it straight away. So give yourself permission. Let yourself be messy during the process of creation. Sometimes that random messiness can actually help out. Then, after you've finished and after you've released, then you can go back and tidy up. I've done that a bunch of times. Now, again, some of you will say to me right now, no, that doesn't work for me, Johns. I need to be organized. If I'm not organized, it actually affects my creativity. So that's cool too. But I'm just saying that sometimes we use it as an excuse to not actually do the creating because we're too busy organizing. It's like why my studio is always the tidiest when I'm procrastinating doing something like, oh, I don't know, recording a podcast. Number three, posting to socials, then refreshing every 5 minutes, right? If you're checking your stats, you're not making music. And I'm guilty as anyone. When I put a video out, you do that thing, don't you? Especially here on YouTube, you put your video out and you're like, refresh. It's like, oh, it's 3 of 10 now. Oh, now it's 2 of 10. Oh, no, someone left a comment. I've got to go answer it. Yeah, likes don't define your worth, and the algorithm's not watching you. Right? It's a robot. It doesn't care about you. So post it and then close it. Leave the app. Go back creating. Create more and scroll less because it won't go anywhere. I had a piece of paper in my mouth. I don't know why I've been eating paper. That's very odd. Number four. Yeah, I'm not cutting it. This podcast is an organic thing. In case you thought I was AI, I'm pretty sure AI wouldn't have put a piece like that. Number four, planning a tour before finishing an EP. Now I know that's the headline, isn't it? Like, you don't need to a merch table. You don't need bookings. You don't need to be plugging a gig. Until you've got some songs. Now, I've got kind of the opposite problem with this. I got a lot of songs, too many songs, and I don't ever perform them anywhere. So this one's probably not so much for me, but I definitely work with a lot of folks who are like, they're very enthusiastic and they're like, when I finish my album and when I have all of my songs, I'm going to go ahead and do X and Y and Z. And it's like, yeah, build the catalog first and then the calendar of your tours and all of your dates and all of the things you're going to be doing. You can dream big. I'm not saying don't dream and don't say, yeah, I'm going to record an album, then I'm going to go tour it around. But you need the album first. And the worst thing you can do is to have all these plans and then not have actually worked backwards to actually plan out how you're going to get the recordings or how you're going to get things done in order to meet the plans that you've got in place. Number 5, buying sample packs you will never use. Is this you? I must admit, I've resisted this, but you know what? If you've got 400 kicks and still no chorus, yeah, maybe you're misdirecting your time there. For me, the equivalent of this that I would say is with GarageBand or with Logic Pro is just going in and like downloading all the packs and then going through and playing with the packs and the samples. And it's like, I'm probably never going to make future house music, but I've explored every single hi-hat and topper in the future house pack. Why am I doing that? Why do I put myself through this? But yeah, having more sounds, especially the sort of ones, is not going to help you out. Inspiration is not accumulation. Like accumulating more things and stuff, whether it's gear in your studio or samples or loops or sounds or amp sims or apps, they're not like Pokemon. You don't have to catch them all. My friend Jade says that. Yeah, so finish your tracks, not your libraries. You don't need everything. And in fact, it can make it harder. There's proven psychological studies that say less choice is actually better. Because if you've got more choice, you get analysis paralysis. Have you heard that term? You don't want to be paralyzed by choice. You want to be able to have a few options, choose one, and move on. Number 6, rebuilding your studio setup every month. So, yeah, again, a new studio desk might be appealing, but it's not going to make you more disciplined. And the exception to this is that if you really are working in an environment that is stifling your creativity, then maybe you do need to redesign things or at least clean and declutter and tidy. But constant rearranging is just constant distraction. And stability actually helps habits stick. Having a stable environment means that you're repeating the same sort of things. I know in my studio exactly where all my things are. If I move my computer and then I move my mixing desk and then I move things around, I'm not going to be more efficient. I'm going to be less efficient. So upgrade after you've got songs done, after you've got that album done, after you've got that song done, after Songtember. Create first and decorate later. Are any of these resonating with you? I know they are with me. So if they are, I would invite you to leave a thumbs up. You can do that here on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel. You can participate in Songtember. There's information in the link down in the description all about how you can do that. And I appreciate all of my Patreon members, all of the members of the YouTube channel, and everyone who donates to me. It really does make all the difference and help keep the lights on around here. Number 7, over-automating every plugin. You're not mixing, you're animating. So, and look, I got into, it's like this. I didn't automate at all. So I didn't use automation. If you're not familiar with automation, it's where you change the volume or you change the panning and you tweak it over time. And I went to the point from, I didn't know automation at all, to I was riding the faders on like everything. I was ducking every single breath. I was making my vocals sound unnatural because I was doing, and then I realized that, hey, compressors can do a lot of that heavy lifting for you. Noise gates can do a lot of that heavy lifting for you. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't make sure that, when you hit that final chorus, you automate the vocal level up a little bit so that it cuts through? No, of course not. But does it mean that you need to obsess about every single breath to make sure that it ducks and comes back up at the right level? No. Sometimes set it and forget it, like the old chicken roaster guy said, is the best way to go, right? Focus on what the listener actually hears. They don't care about your automation curves. I know they look fancy and they probably make you feel good because I'm like, look at me riding the faders like a boss. but it really doesn't make that much difference at the end of the day. By the way, feel free to disagree, because that's what we're here for. We're here to have a discussion about this stuff. And some of these may not apply to you, but some might actually help you and might free up some of that time you need to create more music. Number 8, rewriting lyrics every time you sing them. I am super duper guilty of this. Every time I sing a lyric, I like change a word or two, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's what it needs to be now. And then you do it. And then, oh, maybe that's what needs. No, if you change it every take, it was probably fine already. I know I say this every time, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers had a #1 song, and one of the lyrics was a ning nang nong nong ning nang nong nong ning nang. I mean, yeah, look, it doesn't always matter. And the number of la 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 she used to say, like, yeah, there's a lot of songs that you can think of that don't actually have lyrics that either make sense or that were particularly well written. But first drafts often hold the truth. And this is what I've found time and time again. It's a bit like your first takes. Sometimes your first drafts of lyrics are the best. Go with them. Don't edit the emotion out of it. That's the other thing. Sometimes we try to polish things because the first, oh, you like that. The word I used there was a bit clunky. No, the word you used was the word that popped into your head that probably best expresses the feeling and the emotion that you want your listener to have. So trust your first instincts most of the time, unless every time you listen to it, it makes you cringe, in which case, yeah, maybe give it a change. Number 9, researching the best posting times. The best time is when your song is ready. So yeah, algorithms change, but habits don't. Well, shouldn't. They matter. A good track works at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. and you really need to focus on the impact of sharing your music, not the time. Done is better than optimized. I always say that perfection is the enemy of done, and done is definitely better than optimized. So I know a lot of people absolutely freak out about exactly how, when, where, how, why, which, who they release a song. And when they put the YouTube video up, they're like, oh, I got to premiere it right before or right after this live stream. Just stick it up. Honestly, yes, your tweaks you're going to get are maybe 10%, 20%. There's not going to be a time, unless you're doing it at like 3 a.m. when you know no one's going to be up and available and listening. So a little bit of common sense goes in here. But yeah, in terms of going, do I release it at 10:43 on a Tuesday or 10:36 on a Friday? It doesn't matter that much. Or you know what? Just go with Friday. Because that's, or Tuesday, that's when new music often comes out, isn't it? Or pick a Bandcamp Friday where you can release it, where people are looking out for new music. But yeah, spending too much time worrying about exactly when to release, just get it out there, get it done. All right, number 10, mixing with no reference track. Guilty. So yeah, I had a really good song 2 years ago because I did have a reference track. I wanted to make a song that sounded just like Tool's Opiate. So I pulled the whole Opiate EP into a DAW and I listened to it. And throughout the process, I would listen to that and then I'd listen to my track. Now, did I do it enough? No. And could I show you that here on the channel? No, because it's copyrighted and I couldn't actually show you. This is the problem with reference track. And if you're not familiar, reference track just means bringing in, especially when you're at the mastering phase, bringing in a mastered track that sounds like the sort of track you're trying to make. So for me, I wanted to make a song that sounded like Tool, and the song that I did eventually did sound quite a bit like the Tool that I was going for, and that was my song from 2 years ago in Song 10. You can find out more about it down in the description. But what does it do? It gives you a reference, gives you a roadmap. It keeps your ears honest. It keeps you listening for that. And look, am I saying you're going to copy exactly what another artist does? Not necessarily. But yeah, if you want something that sounds radio ready, comparing your master to someone who's had their song mastered that you love is cool. Like don't go with what you think is good. Go with music you like. If you're heavily into Oasis or Blur or the Bloodhound Gang, you want to make a Bloodhound Gang song, pull in a Bloodhound Gang song. It's over. It's cool. Yeah, comparison actually can prevent you overthinking and overcooking your mix, because sometimes we just keep trying to push it and push it and push it and push it. You had compressors, you had limiters, you had layers, you had EQ, and then you realize that you were actually done about 4 hours ago because you bring in your reference track. You're like, whoa, mine is way overdone, and this professional radio ready track sounds much better because it's still got dynamics, because it's still subtle. So keep that in mind when you're mixing, and especially when you're mastering. All right. Uh, I've done this a heap. Number 11, re-exporting songs just to change the fade out, just to change exactly when it goes. So look, no one really cares if it ends at 328 or 331. In terms of your start and your finish, yeah, you don't want a really long tail at the front. You don't want a really long tail at the end, because if you're releasing and people are putting it on playlists, you don't want people waiting 10 seconds after your song finishes for the next song. They'll get frustrated. They'll remove it from their playlists. But again, that the whole, I'm just gonna re-release it. I know it's version 27, but I'm just gonna trim an extra point 0.1 of a second off the end. Nah, you're probably about right. If it feels about right, it's good. Let it go. Be like Elsa and let it go. You're chasing perfection that usually doesn't exist, and the listener won't notice. You might, and maybe it'll bug you. And you know what? If it's going to bug you every time you hear it, maybe tweak it. But outside of that, it's probably close enough. I've learned that over the years that, no, look, there's perfectionists out there. And unfortunately, most of us have perfectionistic tendencies. It doesn't mean we're always chasing perfect, but it means sometimes we spend too much time, too much precious, valuable time trying to perfect things when 90% is good enough. I know. Whenever I do these, I get someone that'll jump in there and say, Johns, you're sloppy. You need to work harder, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? If this was this is my sole job, but if my sole job was actually the musician side of it, I'd probably spend more time. But let's be honest, most of us in this community are not going to be full-time musicians anytime. Maybe some of you are. Hey, more power to you. Maybe that's your end game and your end goal. But most of us have lives, have jobs, have families, have friends, have side hustles, have things that we commit to that we need to do. And that means that you don't have all the time. So this is a positive thing. This is me telling you and me that we need to balance and manage our time. Number 12, spending a week on that short video, that Instagram reel, that TikTok. Great content doesn't need a film crew. It doesn't need you to overthink it. I've learnt this time and time again that raw is often better than polished. People want to see the behind the scenes. They want the message. They want the communication. That matters more than how it's edited together. I mean, lots of cool, funky B-roll and cuts and star wipes and whatever is all cool, but you want to spend time creating music and not promos. I've seen people that absolutely obsess over the promos, and I'll ask you this. When was the last time you watched or cared about a band's promo video? For me, it's, band you like has new song. Okay, I'll go listen to song. Or maybe it's 10 seconds of the band practicing the song going, hey, we're playing live tonight. And it's like a little bit of their sound check. And it's a bit rough and ready, but you're like, wow, I get to see a bit behind the scenes. Versus like some polished things with a bunch of jump cuts and a bunch of like flashing animations and GIFs. Like you can go nuts with this stuff. Leave that for the youngsters. Old man Johns tells you to create more music and don't worry about the TikToks. Clouds. Number 13, backing up projects but never releasing them. This is one that's near and dear to my heart because I preach the need to back up a lot. And you should. You should definitely back up your projects. But if the cloud has more of your music than the world does, you're kind of doing it wrong. You need to get this stuff out there. You need to release it, right? Because archiving is not launching. Archiving is not releasing. Backups don't count as sharing. When I say create, record, release doesn't mean, oh, look at all these songs that I've released to my iCloud drive. No. Hit publish, not just save. What is the point of storage without story? Ooh, I got to admit, ChatGPT wrote that line and I loved it. So I'm keeping it in. What's the point of storage without story? Sometimes the robots can generate some gold, right? Are you enjoying this? Are you having some fun? Are you feeling seen or are you feeling called out? If you're anything like me, a little of both. Please hit the thumbs up button. And again, thank you so much for everyone's support. Don't forget, you can go to studiolivetoday.com and particularly studiolivetoday.com/songtember if you want to join in our Song in a Month challenge starting, well, if you're watching this live, like in a day. It's happening. It's a happening thing. All Songtember right here on the channel. Lots of cool content. And you can join in by creating your own song in the month of September. Number 14, starting a side project every week. Oh, who is guilty of this? Your side project has side projects now. Right? Because when you're a creator and when you're an artist, having a side project is great. And what a side project usually means is you're kind of bored, you're kind of over what you've been doing. You want to do something different. You need some variety, and that's cool. But if the variety becomes so much that you need variety from the variety, maybe you're creating the wrong stuff in the first place. Maybe you just need to stop and reevaluate and work out, am I creating the music I want to create, or am I creating what I think I should be creating? So focus, and a lot of us, especially us creative types, focus is our superpower. It's what we can use, that the level of hyper focus that us music nerds can actually get into can be really, really cool. But we can also be like, shiny, squirrel, there's stuff going on, isn't there? So curiosity is great until it becomes chaos, until you're constantly distracted. So one strong project is better than 10 half-baked ones. Speaking of baking, it's nearly afternoon tea time around here, so let's continue on. Number 15. Oh, am I guilty of this? Drum roll, please. Arguing about AI replacing musicians. Oh, if I could have back the hours I've spent thinking about, talking about, conversing about, arguing about AI, talking to people who use AI that think it's grouse, talking to people that hate AI that think it's going to destroy the world, talking to people like me that sit somewhere in between going, AI creates good musical tools, but the human still needs to be driving and in control of the creation. Yeah, guess what? Debates don't write songs unless you write a song about AI replacing musicians. So yeah, maybe do that. If you've got a lot of strong opinions about it, vent it through your music. AI didn't make you procrastinate for 3 days. You did. You did, Chucky. You did. So use the tools. Use the tools. Just don't fear them. And let your humanity shine through. Let humanity be the hook. Because guess what? You're still here. You're listening to this with your ear holes. AI might be scraping it too. Hello, robots. Hope you're doing well. Please don't destroy humanity. And also don't destroy humanity. See what I did there? There's two versions. So yeah, again, if you love AI, go your hardest. I'm not going to go. See, I almost fell for my own trap. It's a trap. By actually talking about this, I almost started ranting about my personal views on AI. But you know what? My personal views on AI are, I'm going to go create some human music. There you go. All right, number 16, waiting for better acoustics before recording. You know what? If Billie Eilish can record vocals in a bathroom, so can you. If her and her brother can sit in their bedroom with a MacBook running Logic and just record straight in, so can you. Right? Great ideas beat perfect rooms, and you can treat sound, you can't treat silence, right? So if you're like, oh, it's like what we talked about in the last one, where it's like waiting for that one piece of gear, waiting for that one piece of software, waiting for the time where it's golden hour and the light shining through your window just right. No, use what you've got now. The room is rarely the problem. Now, with a few sort of caveats here, that you still want to get your best quality recording. Don't deliberately record in the worst sounding place in your house, but that's why it's wonderful, especially for us mobile musicians. You can grab your laptop, you can grab your iPad, you can grab your phone, and you can move it somewhere else. Like with the size of audio interfaces and microphones and MIDI keyboards these days, you can pretty much record everywhere. And not all of us, self-included, have beautifully, perfectly acoustically treated rooms with bass traps and panels and all the rest. But you can still make good music. In fact, you can make better music now than you ever could because of the quality of the gear we have in our home studios. So stop worrying about the gear. Stop worrying about the room. Stop worrying about the acoustics. Just get recording. And we're going to finish with number 17. And if you listen to none of this, if you've ignored me for the last 16 items, please listen now. Number 17 is asking everyone if it's good enough. Stop crowdsourcing your confidence. Be confident, stupid. No. But yeah, how often do we as creators second guess things that we know are what we want to create? Why does it matter if other people, in fact, if you ask enough people online, someone will tell you you suck. Most people are cool, especially in this community. Most people are cool. Most people aren't all about themselves. Most people aren't selfish and self centered and me, 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 me. They will help you, but others won't. And guess what? If you ask enough people, you're going to get at least a few people who see you as a threat, who want you to not create music because they feel that the less people that create music, the better their music can be. Yeah, listen to the sort of music that those sort of people produce, if they produce any at all, or use AI. Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that. But you already know the answer, don't you? Validation isn't direction. You don't need other people's validation to be on the path that you set for yourself, right? Feedback helps. Don't get me wrong. Don't hear what I'm not saying. You want to talk to people. You want to get feedback. You want to share within a trusted environment, especially at the demo stage, the songwriting stage, the mixing stage, the mastering stage. Get help, get feedback from people you trust. But if someone says, oh, yeah, that song's just not quite my cup of tea, oh, well, not your problem, their problem. They don't have to listen to it. It's fine. You are not going to please everyone. Trying to please everyone all the time means you're going to please no one ever. So, yes, sir, seek out feedback. Yes, share your stuff with a trusted community, such as the community we have around here at Studio Live today. Create, record, and release. There you go. We've now got 34 things that we all need to stop wasting our time on as music creators. And the more that you can harness that in, then the more you're going to create. Now, I'm going to finish with a secret special additional number 18, which is you also need dick around time. Yeah, you also need time away from just pure creating, or you will burn out. You will resent it. If you put all these into place and you avoid these 34 things that we've talked about over this two-part podcast special, then yeah, you're going to reach a point where you are just this pure creation machine. And guess what? You'll make 5 songs in a row. You'll get so over it that you will just give up. So make sure you take breaks. Make sure you do the things to look after yourself. Sleep well, eat well, exercise, go play video games for a while, hang out with your friends, talk to your family, do all the good things. But yeah, if that's all you're doing, then you've probably got a problem. But everything in moderation, right? Thanks for being here with me. If you had fun, thumbs up because the sun's up. I got to go check if the sun's up and have my afternoon tea because I'm getting hungry. And now, hopefully, you're hungry for some music creation. Let me know which numbers really resonated with you. And until next time, folks, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and keep creating. I'll see you next time.